Hi folks, Heather Hart here, fantasy artist and illustrator, and today we're going to be painting this sketch, Hippocampus. Now living in the Pacific Northwest, right by the ocean, I wanted to do at least one piece of an ocean type creature. Now once I have the creature figured out and sketched out the way I want, I will take it into Photoshop and make it the size that I want and then print it out on watercolor paper. From there, I will adhere that to a panel or stretch it on watercolor board and proceed with my acrylic inks. Now, in this case, I did do a matte medium method where you adhere it to a panel and then covered it in clear gesso so I could still see the drawing. And then I knew I wanted this to be a dark and murky undersea painting. And so I did my underpainting and then layered in multiple colors, cerulean blue, phthalo green, and burnt umber, many layers, and smoothed it out with my makeup brush. And once I had that established and dried, I then mixed my yellow with white titanium and proceeded to just hit all of the shell tops on this creature to show that the light from above was bouncing light off of the surfaces of its shell. And I have to say that painting this horse's head was one of my favorite things in this whole painting. As if you know me at all, I absolutely adore horses. I grew up around horses. I barrel raced, I rodeoed, I did all of that stuff until I hurt my back, and now I just look at horses and I don't ride anymore, which is great because it gives me more time to paint. And once I have the highlights established, I start going in and putting in some more darks around the depths of the shell where I want it to look darkest, and then I start adding color. Now the color mixes I'm using are back to the phthalo green and the cerulean blue, and then I also apply a quinacridone magenta, and if you know it, is very thin, which is great for this. I wanted this little creature to look kind of menacing with the red tail. Don't approach her because she is guarding these eggs. Now from there I'll have to re-establish my highlights, and then I can proceed on with the rest of the creature. Now I do work in thin layers, as you can see here. These are acrylic inks, so they act a lot like watercolor. And if you want any depth, you have to build them up. Now I like that slow build up because it helps me figure out where I'm going, because I did not do a color study. I knew that I wanted it to be teal. I knew that I wanted the painting to be dark, but other than that, I did not prepare. Now I could save myself a lot of time if I would go ahead and do a color study, which I am working on that. But at this time, I did not do that. Although having the underpainting really helps map out where you're going to go with the lights and darks, and then you can just layer colors over the top, which I actually really enjoy, because sometimes you get some colors from the color layering that you wouldn't get if you tried to mix them, right? So once we have that magenta in, we can go in and reestablish the highlights on the tail part of the shell, which, back to that, painting shells was a lot of fun because there's a lot of highlighting. And if you're a render junkie like I am, you absolutely adore doing the white highlights. Now, what I'm doing here is I'm highlighting the shell, and then I'm going to go over it in the areas I want to be the teal and the closer to the face where I want the viewer to spend most of their time, with the cerulean blue. And then I'll reestablish highlights and go over it again. And then just slowly build that color up. But yeah, that's basically this painting in a nutshell. So I'm going to let you watch the rest without me blabbing through the rest of it, because the rest of the painting is layering color and then reestablishing highlights and then layering more color. And that is the gist of this painting. It really wasn't that complicated. It was just tedious. So, cue the music.
There's a push and there's a pull. There's a new moon and then it's full. The tide will rise and rise until it falls. And there's a rhythm to it all. There's a you and there's a me. There's a pattern in the chaos, a current in the sea. And there are times I wish I had a mountain top to see the rhythm of it all. Every spring leads to a fall. There's a heart in every home. The young will always wish that they were older. And there's a rhythm to it all. There's a you and there's a me. There's a pattern in the chaos, a current in the sea. And there are times I wish I had a mountain top to see the rhythm of it all. What is new will be forgotten, and there's a use for the broken things you've lost. If you hold it loose, you'll find that there is room for the rhythm of it all. There's a you and there's a me. There's a pattern in the chaos, a current in the sea. And there are times I wish I had a mountain top to see the rhythm of it all. To see the rhythm of it all.
And here's the final piece, 11 by 14 acrylic ink on panel. This was a blast to do. It only took me 3 tries to get it right, and I don't regret starting over at all on this piece because it was definitely worth it. Lessons learned, I will definitely start doing more color studies. That way I'm more prepared. But just from experience, I know that no matter how much preparation you do, you're always going to run into a challenge. Anyway, that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching and keep watching for more videos. Have a great day.